What's up guys, Cheap Beast aka Noah, back today bringing another video. This time a little different, no unboxing this time. We're going to be going over a few shoes that I think is a good alternative to something a lot more expensive. Video is pretty much based off of these shoes that I just got in my last video, so if you want to go check that out, just the last video link will be in the description and you guys can just check it out on my channel. So yeah, inspired by these shoes right here, I wanted to show you guys a few alternatives if you're like me who's not going to spend a couple thousand, not a couple thousand, but $1,000 or a little bit under or whatever on shoes that you don't need. I mean, you don't need any shoes, but whatever. You know what I mean. On shoes that you don't need that are a lot more expensive than you should. Just a disclaimer, not all of these are the cheapest options, but compared to the more expensive options, they're a lot cheaper, and I think roughly you get the kind of the same thing. You're not getting some of the hype on a lot of them, but you get something kind of close. So it's not that big of a deal, at least to me. So yeah, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's get started with the first one, the ones that inspired this video, the vintage Blazers, the black and white ones. Like I said in my last video, I think they kind of look like the off-white Blazers. If you guys don't know what they look like, I'll be posting, there'll be pictures of all these shoes other than these ones, because these are the only ones I have somewhere on the screen right now. But they, like I said, these ones are $100, and I looked up everything on StockX right before this in my size, so this isn't exactly everyone's size, but this is what my size would be. And the difference between these, which is $100, and the StockX pair is, I probably should have prepared a little bit better. Whatever, we're gonna put that right in front of me. Alright, so the difference between these and the off-white Blazers is a good $1,200. So those, as of, I forget what day I looked up, yesterday, they were $1,338, which is ridiculous compared to what these are, which is $100. So you can buy 13 pairs of these before you ever get one pair of Blazers. Not saying that those aren't my favorite shoes, like pretty much ever. They're one of them. But if you guys are like me and you're not going to spend $1,300 on a pair of shoes, they are a good alternative to have these for $1,000 or $100 compared to $1,300. The next one, like I said, I don't have any of these other ones. I just picked a few examples just because I didn't want to overwhelm you guys with a ton of examples. They're not exact. Some of them obviously are going to be a lot different. But the next one is going to be the Rookie of the Year Jordan 1s. Right now on StockX they were going for $304, which is the lowest price I saw, which isn't too bad. Still a little bit more than I would pay for Jordan 1s. But compared to the one I'm going to compare them to, there's about $600 cheaper, which is a huge difference. So I think they're a little bit different, not the same shade of brown, but they're kind of like the Travis Scott Jordan 1s. If you don't know what they look like, they're up on the screen right now. But yeah, so on StockX at that time I was looking, they were $925, which honestly is a lot less than I thought. I thought they were a lot more expensive just because the hype's been crazy on those shoes. But compared to the Rookie of the Year, they are a little different shade of brown. The swoosh is obviously different. You're not getting the Travis Scott name with them, but you are getting a good looking shoe. And if you're just going for the look of the shoe and not the hype, then the Rookie of the Year is probably a good option. The prices seem a little high on that because I honestly thought they were a lot cheaper when they just released, but as of right now they're $300. So not too bad compared to the Travis Scott, which is $600 more than the next ones. So the next ones that I have for you guys are the UNC Jordan 1s. So just the plain ones. I'm obviously going to compare them to the off-white UNC Jordan 1s. The UNC ones, again, another shoe that I didn't realize was as expensive. According to StockX, they were $500, which I honestly thought they were a lot closer. There's another shoe, the Turbo Green, which is obviously like a suede, but a little kind of close to that colorway too. A little bit different, a little different shade of green, green, blue, teal, whatever it is. I like that shoe a lot actually, but I didn't write the price down for that one. So you can kind of make a little justification there and get the even cheaper version. But comparing them to the off-white UNCs, which are about $1,300, So just like the Blazers, they're kind of ridiculously expensive, and if you're going for a dead stock pair of those, then those better be your Grails, and you better be really happy with them. But like I said, the UNC Jordan 1 comparing to the Off-White UNCs, obviously you're not getting all the extra stuff that comes with the Off-Whites, the zip tie, some of the extra stuff that just shows up on them. But if you just like the colors and like the color, I get colors, and having a Jordan 1 that looks roughly like it, then was it $800 difference is kind of a lot, especially when you're looking at shoes. So like I said, UNC Jordan 1's not that bad of a colorway. Obviously they don't have all the extra stuff that Off-Whites do, but you're also not paying $1,300. You are paying $500, which is kind of ridiculous, but didn't think they would be that expensive. So not crazy cheap either, but still a lot cheaper than the Off-Whites. The last shoe that I have is a bit of a stretch. I've seen it compared to one shoe, but it's a little bit of a stretch. They kind of look like it, and if you're, like I said, like all the other shoes, if you're really just going for the colorway and not for the hype, then there's a huge difference between these. So I'll show you a picture. I should have like all 6 of them, not all 6, like all 3 of them that I found are the Kyrie 6s. These ones would actually be the by you, so you go into Nike and be able to customize them so you can make them however you want. But as you guys can see, they kind of look like Air Yeezys. I didn't write down the prices of Air Yeezys because it depends on which one you're going for. They were a couple $1,000s at least, so really crazy. And the Kyrie 6s were $160. Sure, you're not getting the exact thing, you're not getting the Kanye, you're not getting the exact shoe, but the colorway looks pretty similar. They both have that back like tab whatever on the shoes, which kind of looks similar, but obviously, like I said, with all these shoes, it's not exactly the same, and if you want the hype, you got to pay for it. But if you just want the colorway and something that looks similar, you can pay a lot cheaper. So the Kyrie 6s are $160. That's fully customized, and you can kind of make them look like Air Yeezys, but they're not going to be the exact shoes, which obviously is never going to happen, because if you want those shoes, you're paying a lot of money, and they're the most expensive shoe on the list. So like I said, these are only 4 examples. There's more out there. I didn't look too hard, to be honest. I looked for some pretty obvious ones that I knew of. There's more, and obviously you can, even with this, you can find something used and it'll bring the price down a lot on all of these, including the ones that I said were the cheap alternatives to the expensive ones. So if you find something used, definitely wear that if you're gonna actually wear them. If you want to keep it dead stock, then good luck paying over almost $1,000 for all these shoes. So yeah, like I said, this is probably, I don't own any of these. I bought the vintage 77 Blazers more because I really wanted them, and I've wanted them for a while. They've just been a shoe that I like. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helps you guys find some cheap alternatives to some pretty expensive shoes. Like I said, the cheapest one on this list was $925. That's in my size. I feel bad for you guys who have a lot more of a common size, because they get a lot more expensive depending on the shoe. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me more shoes that you guys think are a cheaper alternative to a pretty expensive shoe. So yeah, hit that bell for notifications, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.